This video is my pretty little baby. Caress her and get your share of enjoyment as if it were a movie. Now the movie unfolds. In the bustling city of Crestwood, two men, Daniel Roberts and Alex Mercer, stood as the pillars of a thriving business empire known as Triad Innovations. The firm, specializing in tech solutions for small businesses, was not just a source of revenue. It was a testament to their lifelong friendship and shared vision. They had started their journey in a cramped garage, coding software into the night and dreaming of a brighter future. Their trust in each other was unshakable, built on years of camaraderie, mutual respect, and an understanding that they could conquer any challenge together. As their business flourished, their lives began to expand. Daniel married his college sweetheart, Sophie, a talented marketing strategist who infused creativity into their branding. Alex, on the other hand, found love in Sarah, an astute financial analyst whose sharp mind kept their accounts in order. The couples often spent weekends together, their lives intertwined in a way that felt inseparable. However, as Triad Innovations reached new heights, the cracks in the foundation began to show. Daniel and Alex's ambition led them to pursue different visions for the company. Daniel wanted to expand their product line, introducing cutting-edge technologies, while Alex believed they should solidify their existing market before branching out. What began as healthy discussions slowly morphed into heated arguments. With each disagreement, a subtle doubt crept in. Could they still trust each other? The tipping point came during a critical board meeting. An opportunity arose to collaborate with a large multinational corporation, and both men had different ideas on how to proceed. Daniel, fueled by optimism, proposed a bold move, while Alex cautioned against risking their hard-earned reputation. Tensions flared, and in the heat of the moment, words were exchanged that could not be taken back. The board members shifted uncomfortably, sensing the rift forming between the two partners. After that meeting, an air of unease settled over Triad Innovations. Daniel, feeling undermined, began to second-guess Alex's intentions. He noticed Alex spending late nights in the office, whispering into his phone, and his mind raced with suspicion. What was Alex planning? Was he plotting to take the company in a direction that would leave Daniel behind? On the other hand, Alex, feeling the weight of Daniel's criticisms, started to doubt whether Daniel had the company's best interests at heart. As the months passed, their communication dwindled, each man retreating to his own corner of the office. The staff noticed the change, murmurs of concern spreading like wildfire. Productivity waned as the atmosphere soured. In this toxic environment, Triad Innovations began to falter. Projects were delayed, clients grew frustrated, and revenues dropped. The empire they had built was crumbling. Sophie and Sarah watched helplessly as their husbands' friendship deteriorated. Both women had once been the glue holding their lives together, but now, they felt like spectators in a tragic drama. It was during a rare gathering for dinner that the women decided they could no longer stand idly by. Something needs to change, Sophie said, her voice firm as she looked across the table at Sarah. We can't let them throw everything away because of their pride. Sarah nodded, her expression resolute. I agree. We have to remind them of what they've built together. They've always trusted us. We can help them see the bigger picture. The women devised a plan. They would host a weekend retreat at a cabin in the mountains, inviting their husbands without revealing the true intent. The hope was that by stepping away from the pressures of work, Daniel and Alex might reconnect, rekindling the bond that had forged their success. The weekend arrived, and as the men entered the cabin, confusion mixed with surprise painted their faces. Sophie and Sarah had transformed the space into a warm, welcoming sanctuary, with a fire crackling in the hearth and the aroma of home-cooked meals wafting through the air. At first, the atmosphere was tense. Daniel and Alex exchanged polite but guarded glances, memories of their earlier camaraderie buried under layers of distrust. The wives took the lead, engaging the men in light-hearted games and reminiscing about their early days. Slowly, the ice began to melt. During a quiet moment around the fire, Sarah broached the subject. You both have always spoken about your dreams. Do you remember why you started Triad Innovations in the first place? Daniel shifted uncomfortably, while Alex stared into the flames. Guys, you've built something incredible, Sophie continued gently. But it seems like you've lost sight of that. You're letting doubts and suspicions destroy your legacy. The tension in the room thickened, but the warmth of the fire seemed to ease the sharp edges of their frustrations. Daniel finally spoke, his voice low. I just wanted to protect what we built. I didn't want to take risks that could jeopardize our future. And I wanted to push us to grow, Alex replied, a hint of vulnerability in his tone. I thought you'd support me in that. The wives exchanged hopeful glances, sensing that the barriers were beginning to crumble. As they delved deeper into their emotions, the men finally began to articulate their fears and frustrations. Trust, once the foundation of their partnership, had been shaken but not shattered. As the weekend unfolded, they engaged in long conversations filled with honesty, laughter, and, yes, even tears. They revisited old projects, recalling the triumphs and failures that had shaped their journey. With each shared memory, the bond between them slowly rekindled. By the time they returned to Crestwood, something profound had shifted. Daniel and Alex were not just business partners, they were friends once more. They realized that their differing visions were not threats to their partnership but complementary perspectives that could enhance their company's future. With renewed vigor, they returned to Triad Innovations, ready to tackle the challenges ahead. They streamlined their processes, integrated their ideas, and refocused their mission. Sophie and Sarah became integral to their strategy sessions, ensuring that the women's insights were valued and utilized in decision-making. As the months passed, the company began to flourish again. New clients came on board, and old partnerships were revitalized. The trust that had been restored between Daniel and Alex radiated throughout the office, revitalizing the morale of their employees. Triad Innovations became a beacon of collaboration, where every voice was heard, and loyalty was nurtured. The wives had not only saved their husbands' partnership but had also helped create a stronger, more resilient business that stood as a testament to the power of trust, loyalty, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. In the end, it wasn't just a company that had been rebuilt, it was a community, a family that learned to navigate the complexities of business and friendship, emerging stronger than ever. Daniel and Alex stood side by side once more, not just as partners but as brothers, ready to face whatever the future held. Together. Did you like my pretty little baby? Was the video entertaining like a movie? Then please share, like, and comment on the video. Also subscribe to my channel now. Thanks a lot. Bye till I come with the next video.